Airbnb you.
Okay. I'm telling you, rage bait. Literal rage bait.
She was watching us on the cameras the entire time and is actually living here and really making us uncomfortable.
Who is putting a toilet in a closet? Airbnb was supposed to make travel more personal and affordable. Instead, it's given a certain type of host a platform to be entitled, petty, and as downright awful as they want to be, while guests get blamed, fined, and publicly shamed for it. So today we're covering guests that have been wronged and hosts that have been unhinged. But before we get into the video, around 4% of you are subscribed. If you like videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into the video. So first up, guests are taking to TikTok and airing out their horror stories. These guests are genuinely not being dramatic, and it's as bad as it sounds. Let's get into it.
Airbnb you.
Okay.
We just drove
6 hours.
6 hours to Florida to end up at our Airbnb to have not only the Airbnb not actually be listed.
We booked an Airbnb 2 months ago and they took our money and we showed up to the house and apparently the owner said it hasn't been on the market for 4 months and that we're not even allowed to stay there in Airbnb.
So we're currently stranded in Florida. It's 100 degrees outside. We have nowhere to stay. It's 4th of July weekend. Airbnb is not helping us. The rental company that had the house on Airbnb is not helping us. Let us know. Airbnb.
Get it together.
Get it together.
I switch back to hotels. Airbnb is a joke. I'll take my free breakfast and not having to deep clean a house. That's not mine. Dispute the charge with your bank, as these girls should, because that is actually outrageous to find out that your stay is just not available at all and you have been genuinely scammed. So this says Ratatouille paid us a visit at 3 in the morning in our Airbnb in Paris. I mean, they did make a whole video, a whole movie on a rat being the best chef in Paris. I think rats are pretty big in major cities. I mean, like, it would have worked in New York City too, right? When I went to California for surgery and the Airbnb I booked was empty and had an eviction on the door. I mean, let's look at this together. So walk in. I mean, it looks standard, right? Like oh, yeah, no, that's empty. There's not a couch. There's not a bed. At least there's a toilet. Does it work? Is the water running? Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's genuinely nothing in here. Eviction to vacate. How? Yeah, baby, you need to dispute that with Airbnb. Like, that is, if you don't get your money back from that, you can definitely sue Airbnb and probably that person who posted this listing. That is diabolical.
Our Airbnb in the middle of the night in the Jersey Shore where every single hotel is booked because she was watching us on the cameras the entire time and is actually living here and really making us uncomfortable and wanting one of us to leave.
The reason she said I don't want to talk to you was because she was referring to me as
and threatened to call the cops on us because our reservation was for 2 people in a room that sleeps 3 and we have 4. Oh, okay. And now I'm not sleeping in a place. And she said, it's my house. I can knock on the doors. We had this place booked for the 4th and the 5th, and now we only have 1 night.
Well, that was a lot. That's not great. So there are, it looks like undisclosed cameras or just cameras on the property. I don't know if the cameras, it's a little unclear if they're inside the property or, you know, on the property outside on the exterior. And it says, right, that they booked under 2 people. Maybe I didn't hear that quite correctly, where it said, they said 2 people were coming. It sleeps 3, but there are 4 people in the room. I can understand maybe them being upset over that because under, you know, under fire code, you should not have a certain amount of people in a room. But that being said, they're watching you on the cameras. That's a bit creepy. As people are saying here, you do have to disclose how many people are staying. It's pretty common. You can't really get away with this in a hotel either. The host shouldn't be watching them like that. It's a little creepy. If I saw that on an Airbnb listing, I'm gonna say no because I don't want to be watched. I don't want to be surveyed while I'm trying to enjoy my private accommodation.
Another thing, it's not like what it seems.
This is another illusion.
Oh my God. Could you imagine showing up? So the one lady, you know, came into her Airbnb. There was an eviction notice, no furniture. This one, low-key, might be even worse because imagine going to an Airbnb. You're like, oh, let me, you know, some people test the beds, right? By jumping on the bed. You jump on 2 tables, right? You knock yourself out because these are some flimsy ass tables. I don't even think a child would be able to keep this up. Okay? That is diabolical to do to somebody. Holy crap. Who is putting a toilet in a closet? That's like Harry Potter accommodation. Very, very sus. Not good at all.
My Airbnb host is harassing me to delete my review, but I didn't even leave a bad review, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not even the kind of person that would normally leave reviews, but I checked out of this Airbnb yesterday, and since then I've already gotten like 5 messages from this host being like, please review me, please review me. So I did, and shocker, be careful what you wish for. I was honest. Oh my god, I gave a 4-star review overall, because it was a nice stay, but not worth 5 stars. There were 2 main issues, I think. One was that it was freezing, and the thermostat was capped at a certain temperature, so it was like always 62 degrees, and the other is the place had an overpowering air freshener scent, and I was like, I bet this is covering up a really bad smell, and sure enough, when I left, all of my clothes, everything I brought has this like gross smell. I have to like wash it all. So just that right there, I was like, I probably wouldn't go back. So like, I'm not gonna give 5 stars to somewhere I wouldn't go back to. Anyways, I left this review, and 1 minute later, I started getting inundated with message after message from this host being like, please remove your review. Here's step-by-step how to do it. Contact Airbnb support. And then like gaslighting me about the issues, being like, well, if it was so bad, like, why didn't you tell me in the moment? Why wait until you had to leave a review? They were like, I don't know what smell you're referring to, but our place is brand new. Like, respectfully, it was like the most rundown old house ever. But anyways, they were like, if you don't remove your review, like, we're gonna lose our super host rating. Like, it really impacts us. But then I was reading online a little bit, and it kind of makes it seem like the Airbnb rating system is like a 4-star is actually a lot worse than it seems. Like, it's kind of unfair like that. So I'm kind of torn what to do. Like, it's weird that they're harassing me, but also I don't want to really negatively impact their business like more than I intend to. But I did leave like a well-rounded, honest review. I was like, it was a good location, it was well stocked, etc. But like, these are my 2 issues.
I can understand him being very wary of wanting to, you know, just remove the review and having their status stay. But that being said, the host is kind of harassing you. I understand you're a little bit panicked, but that is not how you should be conducting business. I'm sure there is a way to build your superhost status up, but at the end of the day, you did not provide a very good service. He should have told you that it's too cold, but I don't think there's really much you could have done for the smell. It's crazy how they will talk about leaving poor reviews for the most minor things, but freak out and harass guests that leave them a 4 out of 5 star rating. Exactly, like with that guy. It's a 4. It's still really good. Sure, you want to be a super host, but anything above a 4 really should be considered in the pool for Airbnb. It's not as competitive, but it just means you have to do better. So if the last segment was hosts genuinely wronging guests, this one is about hosts complaining about the most petty of things. And I think it'll make you quite upset to hear what they are upset about.
I hate to be this Airbnb host, but I swear that there's a correlation between guests who ask to check in early and check out late who also leave it the messiest. Let me show you how these guests left it. They were only here for 2 nights. It doesn't look that bad from far away. It's just that there's like debris everywhere. The floors are covered everywhere. The counters as well. And they're all like sticky. I don't think you'll be able to see this, but there's also like smudges all over the doors and windows. Like here, there. Again, there's just like, what is all this? Stove is looking gross. Let's go up the stairs. Upon first inspection, this bedroom looks fine. This bathroom's a little rough just because there is sand absolutely everywhere in here. More sand. This is the last bedroom. I haven't like looked through all the blankets yet, but I did see this stain right off the bat. Final bathroom. Again, it's just lots of like stuff all over the floor and in the tub. I'm not going to show you the toilet, but I want you to know that that is also gross. Okay, and I'm not saying that they left it horrible. They didn't. I've definitely seen it way worse. This isn't like that bad. I think it just extra irks me when I go out of my way. Sorry, this also caught my eye. Like all the walls are gross. And this. The point I'm trying to make is I don't expect guests to leave it super clean. That's my job, is to clean it. But I do feel like there's a difference between leaving a place like messy and lived in versus like being disrespectful of the space.
And some of you commented as well on this issue with host. Host sees pristine room. Also host. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. This one made me giggle. I've had a video on her before in my very first Airbnb video. What she finds suspicious is very bizarre to me. So let's take a look together.
Earlier this week, I asked my Airbnb guest to cancel. Oh, I would have really loved that $2,000 that was coming in my pocket to pay the mortgage that month. Sometimes better to wait it out and let your business model do its thing, to trust in your product. So I've been doing this long enough to know that if you are a guest on Airbnb and you put in the amount of people that are coming, you put the maximum amount allowed. There's 8 allowed and you're putting 8. Have that as a red flag in my mind, because sometimes that means you plan on bringing more and you're just gonna max out the place. Inquiry come through from April 1st through the 4th. 3 nights stay, but it's over one of our spring break dates, so it was a good amount of money. However, I saw that she put 8 coming. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, let's call her Karen. Hey Karen, I saw that you have 8 coming. Can you please confirm that you will have 8 for your vacation? Karen didn't write me back. She didn't write me back for a few days. And though it's in April, I've dealt with this before, where someone didn't write me back and they showed up and had 16 when we only allowed 10 at the time. So I wrote her back after a couple days because I wanted to give her the ability to cancel if she wanted. I said, hey Karen, I wanted to confirm that you will have 8 when you travel to the Smoky Mountains with us. She wrote me back and she said, hey, thank you so much for writing. We're actually going to have 8, but we might have 9 because I want to see if my older daughter wants to travel with us. So my response was this. I said, hey Karen, thank you so much for writing me back. Unfortunately, we cannot accept any more than 8 due to the well and the septic and the overall, just wear and tear on the cabin. I would hate for your daughter to miss out also. We have enough time that you have a lot of amazing cabins left in the Smoky Mountains, and maybe somewhere bigger would be best for you. Please let me know your thoughts on this. It was like a day and a half later, and she canceled. And she's like, I really appreciate you letting me know, and you're right, I would hate for my daughter to miss out on this. I have a log cabin. We have a well and septic system. I have had before, we've had 9, one above, the max occupancy, and we've had like our entire septic tank leak, and then we have flooding, and it's just a mess.
My cabin is not meant to be used commercially, but I do it anyways. I hate Airbnb. I love how hosts act like they're doing you a favor when you're paying for a service. Airbnb business is going to die. Exactly why I'll never stay in an Airbnb. That's okay. We're not for everyone. I mean, you're not for everyone, right? Like, that would kind of bother me. You're trying to find problems that really shouldn't be there. Keeping with the theme of delusional hosts, I wanted to highlight this couple specifically. They are a sweet young couple. They're really awesome. They rent out one of their homes in Georgia. But I have this sort of love-hate situation with their content because I do love that they're showing the Airbnb journey. They seem like genuine and good people, but God, I think they're elite rage baiters. They can be so incredibly nitpicky. And you are going to see how nitpicky they can be, and they point things out that just genuinely do not matter, especially in the grand scheme of their Airbnb business. So you're going to see what I mean in just a second.
Our largest group ever just checked out of our Airbnb.
So let's go see how they left the space.
There's at least 10 people here, plus like 7 vehicles, so I'm kind of nervous how they left the space.
What in the actual heck is going on here? My gosh.
This is not how I leave it.
And there's makeup on it. I would like to say it gets better, but oh my goodness
It's not
gracious.
get better.
Oh my goodness gracious.
A random
What
tote?
is happening? So far we have 1 rule broken because there's furniture moved, and I don't know, if this is makeup, it could be ruined. We could have a ruined rug on our hands. I don't know how well stuff like this comes out of a rug.
So far,
Uh-oh.
2.
Uh-oh, more damage. All right, we got 2 full bags of trash. I'm not sure how that's even possible in 24 hours, but hey, at least they left us some treats.
Okay, babe, it's okay. So let's just pause it right here. 2 whole bags of trash. You said there was a wedding party that was getting ready here. Of course, there's going to be 2 bags of trash. Also, they really didn't fill those trash bags up all that much. It's really like a bag and a half. The staining on the rugs, like, okay, I get it, but you definitely could get those stains out. As I'm going to say, it's better to have a sort of pattern so that it's less noticeable that there's going to be a stain. As you progress in your Airbnb business, there are going to be a bunch of stains, scratches, marks everywhere. It's just going to come with the wear and tear of owning a business like this. And yeah, and they left you 2 bagels. Look at that.
Bagels. Sink full of dishes.
Wow.
That's
Heck
okay.
yeah.
We don't ask them to wash them, but
Let's see. Nothing left in the fridge. Did you leave any drinks or anything?
yeah, I left like, I don't know, 4 or 5 things.
Bedroom number 1, as Cass would say. Oh, there's your missing pillow.
That was rolled up. Somebody pulled that down
So-
because this paper was all the way up here. That doesn't just fall like that.
So they were messing with our photography paper?
Which has a fee on our rules.
Uh-oh.
It just continuously
heck?
gets worse.
You should not be having things in your Airbnb that you don't want people to touch, because people will get their grubby little hands on everything, and especially if they have kids with them. In my last Airbnb video, there was a bunch of locked cabinets. Why are you locking stuff? Like, people like to use the wardrobes in order to put their clothing away, pack it away for the weekend or the week, however long that they're staying, so that they feel like they're in a home. Otherwise, they could have just gone to a hotel if they wanted to feel like stuff is stagnant. Again, even hotels have stuff that, aside from, the sprinklers, you can touch everything, right? As long as you don't break it.
But what's the point in that being moved though? Like, what benefit does that bring? I don't understand.
Stool.
Oh, isn't that just nice? We have a kitchen stool in the bedroom. Cool.
Oh, great. Another thing of our blinds broken.
One bathroom and there was like 10 people here, so it's probably very high traffic.
Cleanser?
Disgusting. I don't even know if it shows up on camera. It is disgusting.
What are we looking at that's disgusting on a bathroom sink? Is it the toothpaste that's left on the sink? Baby, that's normal dirty stuff that's on the sink. I don't see any sort of like skid marks on the sink. Now that would be nasty AF. This looks like normal stuff. Maybe that's mascara, some sort of makeup that's on the sink. Okay.
It stinks in here too.
It is.
It's a bathroom, of course it's gonna stink. The only valid complaint is the broken blinds and staining on the white rug. Those are really the only valid complaints. But also, this is why people and, different businesses that have people staying, right? When we go to hotels, we always see that ugly ass carpet in there. Well, you know why they have the ugly ass carpet in hotel rooms? Is so that you don't see the stains and you don't have to replace your carpet. I'm not saying you should have to compromise on the style that you want for your homes. I hate it when I see an Airbnb has white on white on white, because you could just sleep wrong and drool all night, and the bedding, right, if it's a white bedding, is gonna get stained. White bedding just stains. Do a pattern. Do a nice little pattern that doesn't show any sort of staining. They're charging for 3 nights, $335.46. The cleaning fee, okay, that's interesting. Their cleaning fee is $50, and then their host service fee, so I'm assuming that's how much they pay to Airbnb, right, is $61.54, which, okay, this is very helpful to understand what people on Airbnb are making. So 15.5% is what they're giving back to Airbnb for using the service.
Check out from a 3-night stay.
We already know they had some kids with them because the lights are crooked as heck and there's a ball in the driveway. So let's go see how they left our house.
All right. Got a remote misplaced?
We have a remote misplaced. They kill me when they talk about stuff that has been moved. It's gonna get to you as well as we keep watching.
Okay. Maybe it was because they were cleaning, right?
You see this? It's like wobbly.
I know you guys are like, oh my gosh, it's just to autumn and whatever. It's against the house rules to move furniture. So
like, this is what I mean when I think this whole account is rage bait. It's against house rules to move furniture. It is just moving the furniture. There is nothing really bad that's going to happen, most likely. They just want to be more comfortable in their stay that they had for 3 nights. Or they were moving stuff out of the way. I'm sure they were doing like, some sort of charades or whatever and needed more space. When you need more space, or they had their children playing. As you said, they probably had kids.
Rules are rule. I don't care if you guys think it's nothing. It just shows that there was no respect for the house rules.
They didn't take like any of our snacks.
No, that's not crazy.
So sad.
No coffee.
Whoa, we got a lot
boy.
of stuff.
Oh gosh.
They're supposed to throw away their trash.
It stinks.
Gosh.
I'm telling you, rage bait, literal rage bait.
Mac and cheese. And
Oh, it stinks. What did you open? It smells so bad. Going to the bedroom. Surprisingly not that bad for them having some younger kids with them. We're not really upset about the furniture being moved. It just goes to show that there was a lack of respect for the house rules, but whatever.
And also, all the food and stuff left in there. Like, if this, obviously, the restaurant food, like, throw that away.
that
We
away,
can't do
'cause it
anything with
stinks,
that.
yeah.
I could get the hot sauce and stuff because sometimes people do like that, but throw your leftovers away.
Yeah, that's gross. Now the whole house stinks because we opened that.
How did the leftovers stink that bad? I mean, maybe it was fish or something like that. Just throw it out immediately. It's not that hard. The smell will dissipate at some point. If it doesn't, again, if there are bad smells, what I like to do is leave bowls of vinegar near the bad smells. That's what I do whenever I'm cooking, is have bowls of vinegar out. I think it makes a difference. Maybe get an ozone cleaner. I don't know. Rage bait, elite. And then my favorite part is the comments are turned off for this, so they know they were in the wrong. Or the comments were telling them that they're in the wrong for getting upset over food left in the fridge. It is not that hard to throw the food away, especially when, mind you, that is a very bare home that they have. There is not much furniture in there. There's not much that they need to clean in there. Just throw it out yourself. They're paying a $50 cleaning fee. $50. So reading a comment left by one of you on my last Airbnb video, if I go to a hotel, I can stay in comfort knowing that my room won't be filmed and reviewed online. There has been a rise of Airbnb hosts and small businesses talking badly about their customers publicly, and it always gives me the ick. And so as we see here, 2 nights room fee, so $203. The cleaning fee is, it seems like it's the same at $50.
First ever 1-star review we ever gotten.
Let's go check out the space while we tell you guys why. At first, everything was going great. Check-in went smoothly. He was here to work a night shift at one of our local businesses. So he was getting back really late, early in the morning, I guess. His first morning staying with us, we got a message at 4 a.m. saying that the Wi-Fi wasn't working. After he woke up, we quickly messaged him back and asked what he would like us to do about it. The living room looks great.
Could you imagine? You email your host, you message your host like, hey, the Wi-Fi is out, and your host says back, what do you want me to do about it? I don't know, could you fix my Wi-Fi? Like, use your brain, you guys.
All right, we got some trash here in the kitchen. I'm really not sure what that is. It looks like those big fruit boxes? Anyways, so he messaged us back that evening, said that we could come over and fix it at our convenience. We were out of town, so we got back like 10 o'clock that night. Got the Wi-Fi fixed. It did take like an hour. I was kind of worried we weren't going to be able to get it. Got the Wi-Fi fixed. Thought everything was great. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Bruh, he must have watched our last video. What the heck?
We're just throwing out some Coors Light. I mean, it's not good beer anyway, so I get it. But what the heck? You saw how easy it was for you to just throw it out yourself since you do these walkthroughs anyway. They're getting to me. I'm like getting worked up. I really should not be. But also fixing the Wi-Fi, I completely skipped that part. Fixing the Wi-Fi at your convenience. You couldn't just walk him through how to fix the Wi-Fi unless that's not what he wanted you to do. Very strange.
So his second morning back from his night shift, it was like 4 a.m. He messaged us and said the lock wasn't working on the front door. It's at 4 a.m. Clearly we were asleep. Luckily we were getting up early that morning. We woke up around, I think like 5:30, 5:45, saw his message, immediately messaged him back, and we're like, oh my goodness, let's see what we can do. So we try to unlock it on the app and it says it's unlocked. So we message him and we say, the lock is unlocked per the app. Go ahead and open the front door. So he messages us back again a few minutes later and says it's still not working. At this point, we were kind of freaking out. We actually left. We were going to eat breakfast with some family. We're at breakfast and I'm like all up in my phone. I have no idea what they're even talking about. I was just trying to get it figured out. I kept unlocking in the app because we have an app for our lock and it said unlocked, and every time it says unlocked, it's always unlocked.
See, okay, this whole, back and forth crap, this is why I like getting a physical key. Having a physical key really does prevent you from a lot of this BS that happens. And people are like, oh, well then how, I don't want to be there to hand off the key stuff. You can just put it in your own little lockbox. They give you a code, like it's a manual thing. You flip it and then you take the key. So you don't even have to interact. I've only interacted probably one time on my entire 8-month stint using Airbnbs because I just use the little manual, 4-digit code and I get my key. This would drive me up the wall, especially if I have to wait. This poor man, 3 to 4 in the morning, I get done working and then my host doesn't respond. Thankfully, they respond within an hour, but damn, that would be so annoying. Like, am I gonna have to sleep in my car? Then what was the entire point of me booking this Airbnb? But let's see what he has to say on.
Knew that the front door was working. After a few messages back and forth, he keeps saying he can't get in. I literally said, I think word for word, it's unlocked, don't touch the lock, just open the door. Because what was happening was he was coming to the lock and he was typing in the code and clicking the unlock button, but he was locking the door. So every time he thought it was unlocked, it was locked. And he would try to open it, it wouldn't work. So I would unlock it from the app, he would lock it and then try to open it. I said, don't touch the lock, just open the door. Because of all of that, we gave him 2 extra hours. We told him he didn't have to check out until noon, hoping that it would just maybe resolve any tension that there was between us and him. He didn't say anything. I guess he was happy. And here are a sweet little note, so maybe we'll be good.
Okay. Guys, let's get on the phone with people and walk them through a process. The comments here are like, yeah, what would you like us to do? Fix the Wi-Fi. That is still killing me. That is so funny. Messaging him asking what he'd like you to do about the Wi-Fi is odd. Isn't it obvious it should be fixed? Cassie and John respond, we're not just gonna barge in the house. We offered to either walk him through the process over messages or to come in and take a look. Okay, well, you need to add that part into your video. That's why I'm saying they're really good rage baiters.
We just had newlyweds check out of our Airbnb
So for this one stay, it's $169. Nice. The room fee is $150. Cleaning fee is $50, as it always frickin' is.
from a one-night stay.
We don't know if this is actually for their honeymoon or they were just coming here after their wedding, but we're gonna go see how they left the space. We gave them a late checkout of like about 3 hours and we decorated the inside for them, so we're really hoping they leave us a good review. The living room looks so good. A few of the balloons fell, but we put in their car that they didn't have to take any of these decorations down because
The table is moved quite a bit.
What were they doing?
maybe they just, you know, they slept out on the floor in here. You know, they were just watching TV.
The table is moved quite a bit. Jonathan, shut up. I can't stand this man. But I'm telling you, it like enrages you to a point where you just can't stop it because you're like, Jonathan, just shut up and be grateful that this place is not in disarray.
Wait. Oh, nice. They stripped the bed.
This is so nice! They kept all the balloons up.
Dang, we did a good job with these balloons. They
Very
didn't fall.
festive.
Nice. Perfect. Wait, is the remote in place? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's over here.
Okay, found it. Y'all already know our big, beautiful, mighty bathroom is huge. I'm just playing. Let's see. Looks perfectly fine. I don't think they used anything. Did you leave 2 toothbrushes?
I did!
Well, overall, phenomenal guest.
Yeah, they should be phenomenal guests and you should have truly no complaints. You know, they moved the ottoman a couple millimeters. Jonathan. But I just had to show you and make a whole section on this couple. I think they're lovely, they're fine, but they are really good at doing some sort of engagement bait all throughout their videos, making it very engaging to watch. I do enjoy watching their TikToks, but damn, Jonathan, just stop with the furniture moving. What do you think? Do you think that these Airbnb hosts are entitled and delusional? I think some of them are genuinely doing some sort of engagement bait, rage bait in order for you to get upset and watch their videos. I know I'm guilty of doing that as well by sharing their videos. But let me know what you think. Are you using Airbnb or do you stick to hotels or other sorts of stays? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. I think you'll like my last video on Airbnb hosts.